How you doing?
Had a really bad day today.
Oh, what happened?
So I work at a place with kiddos that have neurological challenges. And so, my job's really hard because you love those kids and I'm basically like a teacher, I guess is what you could describe it, but there's a lot of behavioral interventions that go with it. And so, some of them are pretty aggressive, and they hit you and they bite you and they pull your hair, they throw chairs at you. And after a while, that takes a toll on you. And so I recently had just put in my 2 weeks that turned into a month notice. So I'm a little frustrated.
Yeah.
So today was just really bad because my client I'm pregnant, and this little kid is 6 years old, so he's about the height of my tummy.
Oh, yeah.
And the biggest reason I'm leaving this place, well, one of the reasons I'm leaving this place is because I want to protect my child. And if my belly's sticking out, there's a really good chance that an aggressive kid might come attack me and hit my belly and something bad happen. And I can't live with myself if that were to happen.
Yeah.
So that's a huge reason why I'm leaving, but I'm also leaving because of the boss that I work for. Like I said, my notice, what should be 2 weeks turned into a month notice, and it's because I turned in my 2 weeks. My 2 weeks actually would be tomorrow, but I gave them until the end of the week because it's kind of weird to just stop in the middle of the week. So I even wrote in my notice that I'd stay till the 13th, till Friday. But I told them, I was like, I realized that my job's hard to replace because I have 3 different jobs there that I didn't ask for, but I got. And she said, well, if you do anything, would you be willing to work another week after that if we need it? And I said, yeah, if it's necessary, I'll do that. That's fine. Because it's not like I'm leaving for another job. I'm leaving to be a stay-at-home mom and do my internship with school and everything. But now that's escalated, and I got so upset today. I just walked into her office and I was like, listen, I told you my last day was the 13th, so I want to be able to quit the classroom and my clinical clients, and then I'll just work in the office for you the last week that you need me, because that's the only reason that she's making me stay another week. Well, then, when I finally got her to compromise with that, she was like, so my normal hours in the office are 10 to 2. So I was like, okay, I'll just come in, 10 to 2 Monday through Thursday for that last week that you need me. Because the whole purpose is she needs new employees, and that's what I do, is hire employees. And then it turned into, well, can you work 9 to 3? I was like, okay. Because I'm pretty compliant. I don't really put up much of a fuss. I'm a really good employee, I feel like, and I have a good reputation there. I'm a hard worker. I never call in. And then it turned into 9 to 4. And it's just, I feel like I can't say no. And I feel like even when I try to stand up for myself, I'm never going to get to leave this place. And it's really hard because, like, today I was getting beat up and I'm, like, scared to death for my baby. And on top of it, my husband's frustrated and wants me to get out of there because it's his baby too.
Yeah. What's that like for you to have to feel like you have to say yes to something that puts your child's life in danger?
It makes me angry. I've been raging all day. I've been so mad because, like, the only thing I've ever wanted in this life is just to be a mom. I didn't dream of a career. I didn't dream that I'd have this specific hobby or whatever. The only thing I've ever wanted is just to be a mom. I think it's the coolest bond you could ever have, ever. Like, it's just, and I feel like I'm not getting to do that. And I will. I know I'm eventually going to leave, but right now it just feels like, well, my last day was the 13th. Well, now my last day is the 20th. Well, no, now the last day is the 9th. It's just, it's completely unknown for me. Like, I really don't know.
Well, what would happen if you made a definitive decision and said, no, I'm not going to go along with this?
I would ruin my reputation there.
But you want to be a stay-at-home mom anyway.
Well, just until I finish my school and then I could go be a counselor.
You want to go back and work at the same place with the same people?
No.
Then what is...
I guess my thought process is just like references. Like if anyone ever, if I needed to give out a reference, I want to be, even though I don't like where I work, and even though I didn't like my experience, I did at the beginning, but that's too harsh. But like right now, like I'm leaving very angry, and I'm not going to talk about that place in a positive light. If friends ask me, hey, what do you think about working there? I'm going to tell them the truth.
So you think sticking to your guns one time would ruin your whole reputation for the entire time you've been there?
Well, yeah, actually, because if I did that, like, people are going to remember, they're not going to remember what I did this whole 1.5 to 2 years that I've been there. They're going to remember how I walked out. That's what everybody remembers. And I say that because my husband just, at his job, his boss just quit the day of. He's been working there. His boss has been working there for 15 years and then just quit on the spot without any kind of notice for anybody. Totally screwed over so many people. And obviously that killed my husband because that left a lot on his plate, especially with that being his boss.
Yeah.
And so I just don't want to leave, and I don't want anyone being mad at me. And I want people to remember the good things I did for these kids and for this school.
Agreeing to work extra and longer isn't doing anything for the kids, though. It's doing more for your boss.
Well, it is, though, because if I leave, then they're understaffed. And we're already understaffed, which is why she's wanting me to work 9 to 4 in the office Monday through Thursday. But I'm supposed to be part-time. Do you realize that? Like, I have 3 jobs. I work with clients in the clinical program, I work in the classroom during the school hours, and I work office 2 days out of the 5 for her to hire employees for behavioral interventionists, and I give school tours. And so I'm just like, there's too much. This is too much. And like, my health has gone down because of this job. I mean, I think it's this job.
Who have you told that it's affecting you, that it's too much?
Who have I told?
Yeah.
No one at work. Just my husband. My husband's so ready for me to get out of there.
So you haven't told anyone who could do anything about it?
No. Because if I tell somebody at work the actual truth, I don't like to talk negative. But this place is so bad.
Is it really talking negative, or is it trying to protect your reputation?
Well, I guess that would be it, because if I'm talking negative, then I'm ruining my reputation, because I'm very positive and but it's gotten so bad to the point that, like, now my anger is slipping out in ways that it shouldn't. Like, I got frustrated with a kid today and said something I shouldn't. It wasn't a big deal, but I definitely said something I shouldn't have. And then I immediately felt bad about it, because I'm like, okay, seriously, if I'm here for the kids, then this shouldn't be happening. But I am there for the kids. I feel like I'm being held hostage right now. And it's bringing that, like, fight reaction in me. Like, I feel like I'm having to fight. And I'm just so angry, but then on top of that, I'm holding all that anger in to protect my reputation, I guess.
Which is more important to protect, your reputation or your baby?
Definitely my baby, for sure.
If you were going to make decisions that were more focused on protecting your baby versus your reputation, what would that look like?
Well, the problem is like, because of my conversation today, I'm getting to leave the aggressive kids on Friday. But I'm still stuck dealing with the one person that I am having the problems with Monday through Thursday, even possibly Friday. And I tried to put my foot down on Friday, because that day we're not even in school session. All it is a staff development training. Well, she says she needs me on Friday because there might be people to hire. But I'm like, if I'm going to be in the office Monday through Thursday, 9 to 4, how could you possibly need me another full day? Like, this job she made this job a part-time job for a reason. Like, there's not going to be, and I have to leave at some point. Like, I feel bad. I don't want to leave them high and dry. And I want them to be successful for the kids' sake. But she is literally dragging me along, and I am like, I cannot take another second of it. That's how I feel, but I still do it. I'm just like walking around so angry, and I get up and I'm pissed and I'm mad, and I treat my husband like crap when I go home because I'm in a bad mood, you know, and then I take it out on him and say that he doesn't support me, but he does. He's the one telling me to leave my job. He's the one telling me to stay home and take care of our baby for a year until I start my career. But, I mean, he's the easiest target, right? Like your significant other. So.
It sounds like your reputation is really important to you.
Yeah, because people see me as having everything put together. And I've always been a hard worker. I've always had 2 jobs, like, since I was the age of 15. I've kept a really good reputation, and I can go back to my hometown and people still love me, and I like the way I feel when people love me and care about me. But I've lost a lot of friends lately, you know, since I've gotten married, just because I'm 23 and married, and all my friends are still doing other single things, and so I've gotten excluded from a lot of things. So I guess it's just like my work is all that I really have as far as social life goes. So maybe that's why I care about my reputation. I don't even like the people. That was a problem.
So you care a lot about your reputation, but you don't care a lot about the people who hold you in high esteem.
No.
Like, you want them to love and respect you, but you don't really love and respect them.
Oh, I definitely respect them, because I wouldn't be here still if I didn't.
Okay.
But I don't love them. I don't. They have made my life so miserable. I had to go see a cardiologist. Like, that should not happen.
So what's up with you wanting people to care about you who you don't care about? What's up with that?
I don't really know. I've just always been that way. I've just always wanted, I don't care who you are, I want to be liked. I'm kind of a people pleaser, and I know that about myself. Because, you know, gossip's so bad these days. Like, if I'm mean to one person, or if I say no to one person, that's going to get around, and people are going to talk bad about me.
Is being mean the same thing as saying no? Are those
I consider no mean. I mean, not in the sense of, like, parenting a child, so I don't want you to be concerned about that. But, yeah, like...
Well, if it's not mean for kids, why is it mean for other people?
Well, like, my boss, who I'm talking about, like, I was like, okay, 10 to 2. She was like, okay, 9 to 3. And I was like, as soon as I said okay, she was like, okay, maybe 9 to 4. And I automatically was like, yeah. And I'm like, why did I just say yes to that? That is so stupid. I don't want to do that. They don't give me a lunch break. I have to eat while I'm working, which I deal with, but I feel like, you know, I'm part-time. And I'm just so, like, above livid right now. I just cannot, I want to get out. I want to run. I don't want to be there ever again. I don't want to talk about it. I just want to get out. I just want out. I'm so mad. Like, I can't even describe to you right now.
I wanted to go back to something that you said a couple of minutes ago, where you would say no to a kid but not to an adult. Whenever you say no to kids, why would you say no to kids? What's that about?
Because I'm protecting the kid, and I know what's best for the kid.
Yeah. And you're setting boundaries.
Right.
So, setting boundaries for kids is really good for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So setting boundaries for other people?
Well, the issue is my authority. I have a hard time saying no to authority.
Oh, okay.
Because she's my boss, and so it's like, if I say no, what's she gonna do?
Yeah, what is she
I'm
gonna
scared.
do? Fire you?
She's mean. She's an awful
What is she
lady.
gonna do, Riley? You already quit. You already quit. What can she
Talk
do?
bad about me because I have, no matter what, even if I don't use him as a reference, she has to be written down as my supervisor on applications from here on out. And I know because I hire people, people don't call people's references. They call supervisors and managers that they had previously, and they're going to get hurt. That's why.
And you think that if you don't do everything she asks you to do, she's going to be
Yeah,
mean?
she would. I swear to you she would.
Okay.
She is awful. She is one of those, like, and I have tried so hard to get along and, like, be a good worker for her, but it's when she doesn't even trust me to do my work, you know. And she picked me to be a part-time job in this job. She could have given me full-time. I offered working full-time because I only go to class once a week, so I could have worked 8 to 4 o'clock or whatever, but she didn't want that. She wanted it part-time. Well, then it got so bad that she was coming in while I was working with a client on a timer. So we're working, trying to beat the timer at some sort of skill that we're working on, and she's in there interrupting and talking to me about my other job. So, like, she's taking away from the kids because she needs work done in the office, which I totally understand, and that's her first priority, but my first priority is the kids. So if you didn't feel, like, I just don't understand why she didn't put it as a full-time job. And she won't let me do my job because when I am in the office, there's another office, like, connecting to mine. She'll be in there talking to somebody and she'll shut the door. Well, then she'll open it and she'll peek and look and see what I'm doing, make sure I'm working, and then she'll shut the door. Well, then she'll open it and crack it and listen to who I'm talking to on the phone. And then she finds out that I'm talking to someone that she already talked to today, so she's yelling at me while I'm on the phone with that person, telling me to get off the phone, and the person on the phone is hearing all of this. And so I eventually was like, at my boss. I didn't say anything, but I put my finger up at her, my pointer finger, put my finger up at her, and I was like, shut up. Because that is so unprofessional, and just, I was already on the phone with her. What was she going to do?
So how's that people-pleasing thing going?
It sucks. I guess I'm not very good at, she makes me feel like I'm not very good at it. But everyone else at work likes me. It's really just this one lady. But she's the one that matters because she's the one that I have to put on my application. And I want this career so bad, and I want it to go so well that I don't want anyone ever to hear anything negative about me, because I know what I'm capable of. I know I'm a hard worker, and I know I'm good with kids. And I just don't want to ever give her any sort of inclination that I can't do my job. So it's been a real struggle. I just can't wait for the 20th.
You said something interesting about not wanting anyone to ever say anything bad about you. Is that a pervasive thing or just about jobs?
Like outside of jobs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it was outside of jobs too. It's just right now it's in my face, my job.
Yeah. What would happen if she gave you a bad reference?
What if I didn't get, the job, my next job, like in my career? I don't really know how that works, but what if my degree is going to be counseling, and so if I go into an agency, and what if they call, my past, hopefully they won't do that because it has really nothing to do with my career, but if they do though, I just cannot see her saying, I want them to call somebody and be like, Riley was such a say all the true things. Yeah. She was a hard worker. She cared about the kids. She truly wanted to be here. She was always flexible. She always gave more than, she gave whatever I asked for, which would be 9 to 4, and she was even trying to push Friday, and I had to lie and say that I was leaving town because I didn't know how else to say no without an excuse. When it wasn't even true. No? Because, she doesn't hear no. She really doesn't. And I don't know. She's a big issue in my life right now.
What is that people-pleasing thing?
It wears me out.
So it gets you a lot of things, and it also hurts you a lot.
Yes. That's my battle. That's my biggest battle, and I know that. But for some reason, I'm like sitting in the moment, and I'm sitting in her office, and I come in, I go in there angry because I'm like, I am gonna tell her what's what, but respectfully. But I'm gonna let her know, like, this is what I'm doing. And I go in there with that mindset, and then I get in there and I crumble, and I don't know why I do that.
Interesting. What's that about? What breaks? What crumbles?
God, I don't know. I really don't. I just can't, like, just get in there. Maybe just because she's my authority. Because I'm scared to death, like, what she could do. I don't know what she could do.
What's the worst thing that could possibly happen?
Embarrass me and tell me I can just be released now. And then tell everybody that I was asked to leave. And then nobody actually gets the true story of what happened. And then I lose all the friends that I did make at work.
Do you think that they would take her word over yours?
Well, I don't really know the answer to that, but I do know that this has already happened to one lead behavioral interventionist, like a couple months ago. So I guess
What happened?
She's a lead, so she was a full-time worker, and she was also upset and angry at this specific lady because she wasn't doing what she needed to do for the kids and for the school, and so she tried to stand up for herself. And they ended up putting her 2 weeks in, and my boss was just like, why don't you just go ahead and go down?
You know, that's actually really common. That's not the same as being asked to leave.
Well, I think they kind of had a snitchy, gritchy, like, argument, but maybe you're right.
Have you ever left a job before?
Like, put in my 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And all of them were fine, except for this one. This one's gone really bad. Because everybody in the past has accepted my 2 weeks and didn't put up a fight, and she's doing that. She's putting up a fight, and I've already been asked not to leave, not by her, but by my other supervisor. And they asked me if there's anything they can do to keep me, and I did say no. I said no. This is the move I gotta take because I gotta go for my baby. But she could care less that I'm pregnant.
But you care that you're pregnant.
Yeah.
It's not really up to her.
But she doesn't care what I think, and she doesn't care how I feel about it.
It's not really up to her, though. Your life isn't up to her. Your life is up to you. And for the time being, your baby's life is up to you. It's not up to her.
I don't know. I've never really been bad at sticking my foot down, putting my foot down, but like I guess I'm really struggling with it this time. Every time I get in her office, I can't.
If you called someone's supervisor and that supervisor said that the person you were calling about was, hard to get along with and didn't really want to cooperate, and it was just because she was pregnant, what would that make you think of? Like, how would you hear somebody who was complaining about an employee wanting to quit because they were carrying a child and didn't want to put that child in danger?
I mean, I would understand it, obviously, because I'm pregnant right now. But that's the stupid part too. Is there's actually a girl who's a week ahead of me in pregnancy right now, but she's not going to leave. But she also didn't have the other options that I do.
Mm-hmm.
And she's staying in the classroom, and so that makes me look bad because.
Why does that make you look bad?
Because we're both pregnant and we're both at the same time, but I'm like, I'm out. This is not good for my kid. I keep getting hit, and I don't want to do any damage to my baby. And she's like, well, I need the money, so.
You don't think that makes her look bad?
I think it does. I care about her a lot. We're actually friends, but I'm like, you're crazy. I don't know how you could. Because even if you don't work with one of the aggressive kids, you're still in that atmosphere, and they still run and attack other people because it's an attention function.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I don't know how, but I don't know her situation, and I am fortunate enough and very, very blessed to be able to stay home because I have a husband who works full time and is basically investing in me because I'm taking the time to do this career.
Yeah. So I see you kind of like internalize the negative things that other people think about you, or the things that you think negatively about other people.
Yeah, I didn't realize, but yeah, I guess I do that. I keep my negative thoughts in general to myself, other than with my husband. I can talk, like, my husband's probably about the only person I can really truly be completely honest with as far as negativity goes. But I think he's gotten really tired of hearing me be so negative every single day about my job, but it's like I don't have another release.
You don't?
No, I don't. What would I do? What am I supposed to do with my anger other than vent and talk about it with my husband?
Well, whenever a person makes you feel angry, you can have an honest emotional moment with a person without being, hurtful or rude or whatever. That's a thing that
What
exists.
am I supposed to say when I finally agree to 9 to 3, Monday through Thursday, and then she goes, well, 9 to 4. What am I supposed to say?
That you feel like you're being taken advantage of.
Yikes, those are some big words for my
Those
boss.
are some big words. You got some big feelings.
I do, but
you have some big feelings.
She has no idea.
And those are big words, but they are not rude or disrespectful or hurtful. They're honest. But they are an outward expression of some negativity that you're feeling.
So after I've already agreed to that now, like if I go in tomorrow and we happen to have that discussion again, am I supposed to go back on what I already said?
What would happen if you did?
Well, I basically already did, because I told her, I'd work the extra week if necessary, and when I went in, she was fighting me on giving up the classroom and clinical work. But I was like, I try to stand up for myself by saying, you keep coming to get me when I'm doing other jobs, so I really think that your need here is the office, and I think I should focus on that so I can get it done. She was like, oh, okay, and she went with that, and that was good.
That's really good. So one time whenever you presented a different thing than what she wanted, she actually responded really well.
But it took like a long time to get there, and I was scared shitless.
So you were really afraid of it, but it worked out.
But I can't. But there's no benefit for her if I say, well, I don't want to work 9 to 4. Because I don't have a reason.
Why does it have to benefit her?
Because that time it did benefit her. Because
okay.
I was working full-time in the office for her.
Okay.
Versus being at other jobs, the clinicals and the classroom. So, so that's why I feel stuck, because, like, I'll do something if it benefits her to make me feel like, I'm not being negative, I guess, or I'm not disappointing her.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't, like, when she's like, 9 to 3. Because it went from 10 to 2, 9 to 3, to 9 to 4. And I'm like, oh my god. And I think she, like, understood that I really was not working on Friday.
Yeah.
But how am I supposed to go back and say, 9 to 4, that's a little much.
I am pregnant. I am very, very
tired
pregnant.
And in school.
Yeah. You can just say that, like, there's nothing stopping you from saying whatever it is that you need to say, other than you being afraid.
You're right. I know.
That sounds a little people-pleasy for me now.
Yeah.
I
know. It's bad.
It sounds like you're trying to say something just, to make me feel better.
I do that in my real therapy. Yeah.
You can't hurt me. I mean, you could, but I'm big and bad enough for it. So tell me you're not going to. Tell me you're going to work from 9 to 4.
I don't want to work 9 to 4. I really don't.
Okay.
It makes me so nervous. Like, I just can't even see myself sitting in her chair like, God, don't hurt me. I don't know why I feel it. She's just mean. I like nice people. I really do. And I don't even mind a strict boss. I don't have a problem with that. I worked for some really difficult... I worked at OSBI. That's like...
So you said that you were afraid she was going to hurt you.
Yes.
Have you ever been in a situation where you said no to someone and they hurt you?
Yes.
Do you think that this may have more to do with that situation than the present situation?
Maybe, Yeah, it could be related. Yep. I don't like saying no to people I want to that like me. You know, I don't. But that's what's weird is like I could say no to kids and I don't care if they like me because I know that I'm doing what's best for them.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't always know what's best for my peers or for my authority. And
what about if it's just best for you?
Because I don't want to be selfish. I don't want to appear like I'm arrogant and selfish.
Well, you will either stand up to your boss and quit your job and she will have to let you go, or you will have a baby in the middle of this school. So
no.
You will just be there forever and
It's
she will
not good
never...
for my baby.
Yeah.